Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be going over update 37.2, which is going to be going into public beta. That's going to fix a couple of ongoing issues when it comes to faction assault and should be addressing something that a lot of people have been talking about for honestly months when it comes to war potentially. We'll obviously have to see how it works when it goes into the beta itself, but we can read through the information with regards to the update, and there's also some massive RTS news in general, which we'll go over just at the end of this little update video. As I read through it, it says, "Hello survivors, we are happy to announce the last bug fixes and updates made in the upcoming version 37.2 update. A public beta will open Monday, March 6, 2023 to test these fixes and changes listed below. Information on how to join the public beta program can also be found later in this post." It's worth noting, same as always, if there are any issues that occur from being in the public beta, they will occur in your live game. This has happened in the past, quite recently in fact, so it's at your own risk of being in the beta. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. So the updates: new mercenary war defense teams. Unassigned war defense teams are now populated with mercenary defense teams during war. Create enough war defense teams before war to avoid having mercenary defense teams in your camp. And this basically means that if you had one defenser, the other two defenses would effectively become like mercenary teams, which are obviously very easy to blitz through. This is enforcing 3 defenses now, which is obviously great. I think a lot of people would obviously prefer 3 defenses, so it's fair for everybody and you're not trying to cheese the system. This is honestly should have been in there from the start, but it's great that it's coming in. This, I think, is going to make a lot of people happy when it comes to war and obviously issues that we're having around war. Good news, no doubt. Bug fixes. We have some general bug fixes. It said, fixed an issue where idling on faction assault tier screen while the event is ended results in an error message. Fixed an issue where the subsequent tiers of a faction assault event don't unlock after the daily rollover. Fix an issue where the user did not get the reward for defeating the boss in Faction Assault boss stage if they use an autocomplete instead of a normal attack. It doesn't actually talk about the Faction Assault just general bug that's going on right now. Hopefully that's going to be addressed in here, we'll see. Fix an issue where the user's team's mods and weapon effects aren't initialized properly when entering into combat versus combat boss in the Undead state. I think Infinity mode sounds so much better than Undead state. But anyway, in the Undead state, and that basically means once the boss is completed and you can just do the last phase, what was happening is before, leader skill was not loading, weapons were not loading, mods were not loading. You're going with base stats. So percentage damage, as much as it's very hard to get good percentage damage anyway, it was useless. But you were taking so much more damage. It was hard to get through the components on the helicopter, that sort of thing against Governor. And this should be fixed with this update. It has taken, honestly, a bit longer than I think most people would have hoped when it comes to fixing this, but it is going to be fixed. Fingers crossed for this beta update. Then it says about joining the public beta. Like I said, you join at your own risk. There can potentially be issues in this beta. We don't know. It could implement new issues, and it will go over into a live game. Just be aware. If you want to test it out, though, you can. But if you want to leave it...
Feels good. Sounds good.
Thank you very much, Hando. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. 24 months as well. Thank you very much. Big milestone. But if you want to leave it and let me join the beta program, I'll obviously go over the stuff and show you stuff that is going to happen in the beta, so you don't have to take that risk. Now, I know a lot of people love going into the beta and stuff. That's absolutely fine, but just be aware. Just be aware. So that's it for the main updates when it comes to the public beta and update 37.2, which will be rolling out on Monday. However, there is some big game news that is coming to RTS, and it was announced earlier today. I'll just get the information on the screen right now. And it is this news right here. I'm just going to read through it, guys. It's from Invisinerds, who is the community manager right now. And it says, "Hello survivors, I have returned from the server room with both good news and bad news. The good news, war looks good for this weekend, and if you check official announcements channel, you'll see that Monday we begin a public beta to test some updates that I think a lot of people have been discussing, and that's what we've just gone over. Now the bad news, or the good news maybe for some. Here on day 2420 of my login streak, I was bitten by one of the walkers that can get loose in the server room sometime while I was down there. So my time here is short. I'm leaving you in the hands of Shucks, who will be your new community manager. Thanks to those in the community I was able to work with in the Players Council, moderator, community team, and here on Discord. I'm going to take a quiet walk, maybe look at some flowers. Farewell, my friends. Keep on surviving. So Invisinerd has been our community manager for like the last, I think over a year and a half. I think it's been a bit longer. Honestly, since the beginning of COVID, it's all blended together for me. But he's been our community manager for a while. And as you know, Invisinerd was a content creator originally. So he went from content creator to community manager, just like we had Link go from content creator into more development of characters or like testing of characters. She's now the head of character development at Scopely for RTS. So we've had some content creators like on the come up when it comes to actually having big parts of the game like development. But Invisinerd's going to be moving on, and I wish him honestly the best in the future. I know that it was a big deal for him to actually be able to work on a game, the being part of the gaming industry. So it's great for him that he actually managed to achieve that, and I really do wish him the best in the future, because I don't think he did a bad job at all. I think every community manager is going to get a lot of flack. It's just, honestly, sadly enough, it comes with the territory. And I thought he honestly did a really good job behind the scenes, especially what he did for things like the content creator team was great, and what he did for the Players Council in terms of remaking that and the getting developers into those actual chats. It's not easy, it's not easy. And honestly, I'm going to just say a big good luck to Shucks, because it's big shoes to fill. I think Invisinerd had big shoes to fill himself, because he was coming in for the previous community manager, who was a great community manager as well. And again, someone else who was not liked by some people in the community. That's just, unfortunately, the way it goes. So a big salute to Invisinerd. Thank you very much for all you've done for RTS. And we might see him around. A little bit. We'll see. But I'm sure he's going to be absolutely fine going forwards. I'm sure he's going to be fine. So this was just a little look at update 37.2, and it looks like some really good stuff is on the way when it comes to fixing some ongoing faction assault issues and some long wanted updates to war and the way the defenses work. So Scopely are listening. Maybe it's a little bit slow when it comes to how quickly we get those fixes come in, but it is actually nice that we're getting that come in. That was a big change. And I don't think it got too out of hand on the last War of Champions, but I could see it getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And now it's not got that possibility, which is obviously fantastic. We'll have to wait and see if there's going to be any updates when it comes to a new war season. That might happen after the actual update is all done and dusted and fully updated. We'll have to wait and see, like I say. And obviously, again, just touching on the news that we have got a new community manager. It is Shucks. And salute to Invisinerd, who has been our community manager for the last couple of years, pretty much. So yeah, thank you very much to Invisinerd, and thank you very much to you guys for tuning in. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, jeez. And thank you very much for tuning in, guys. That is the end of this little video. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.